Commissioners, how you guys doing this evening? Commissioner Baker, Renales, Mr. Oben, how you guys doing? Mr. Marabella, how you guys doing? I'm glad to see you somewhere else instead of Atlantic City, but good to see you.
Doug, do we have your name and town?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My name is Douglas Wynn. I'm the state delegate for 199. I'm here almost 31 years. This is the worst I have ever seen us being treated. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing. That's the problem. I see you come over there, Ms. Kowalski. How we treat you? Pretty good, right? Front door. How you doing, ma'am? How you doing? Now, if God came to us today, I'm 60, going on 61 years old. I know if he tapped me on my shoulder today, will we be ready? I can ask that question. We all went to church on Sunday, right? Did we go to church just to go to church to say we wore our next hat? Or we went to church because we said we believe in God and we believe in treating people the way we need to be treated? There's no love there on 15 Elizabethtown Plaza. None. You were being threatened. You want to take your job, retire, you're old, get out. Something's wrong here. Accountability. You got to hold us accountable. If I'm not dressed right, I come late, you're going to get me, right? Got to be held some accountability. These guys, these families here, got kids. Oh, look at this. Come on. What are we doing here? To get laid off again? You guys got us in this resiliency program. For what? That's more stress. No counsel's over. You're going to take your job. I think we need some grief counseling over there. People are hurting, they're crying. They're blaming everybody but themselves. They're blaming everybody. But the freeholders, but the sheriff. Blaming us. Guys, again, if God tapped you on your shoulder today, would you be ready? But how we treat people, how we treat each other, that's the problem. What happened to the old Democrats of past? Jim Florio, Camden. We was going to get thrown out. Help my mother. Help my mother. Keep us in the projects. They were going to throw us out the projects so my mom couldn't pay for it. 7 kids. What happened to that? Bring them back. What is going on? Why we hate each other so much? Why do you hate corrections so much? I don't get it. We don't bother nobody. But everybody want to bother us for some reason. I don't want to say what it is. I don't know. But please, have mercy on us, guys. These guys don't want to lose their jobs. They're coming back. To go back on the street again? Go to Essex, soft landing? That's not a soft landing. You come over to me with Essex and do a pod with me. Brother Barrios, they want to come to Essex. They want to come to Essex and do a set around, do a set down with us. Sit on the pod with us. Don't let them know who you are. See how it is. Let me throw some piss in your face. Let them know who you are. Other day, hot microwave, put lotion in the microwave, threw it in the officer's face. This is what they're going through. But they say this is a soft landing. Let a soft landing be. Let's gap these guys. So I told her 3 years ago, I said, let's gap these guys so notice is coming again. 3 years is here again. Give them their certification so we ain't got to worry about this no more. We're worrying about it right here again. Stress on everyone. But we got a brand new resiliency program. For what? Just say we got it? I appreciate you guys for having me here today. Brother Baker, you know me for years. Job Corps. I'm that same guy, man. I'm that same good man. I'm not changed. It's about being right and what's right. It's about what's doing right for the public, doing right for our workers here. That's what's right. I want to thank everybody for coming, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Good stuff, class, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. My time is up. Thank you, guys. Next. I know we need something to talk. Let's get up and do what we got to do.
My salutation is extended to all in attendance of this Board of Commissioners meeting on the 8th day of May 2024. My name is Lynn Stellis of Linden, and I am grateful for the opportunity to stand here as a resident of Union County to discuss matters affecting the prosperity of this county. I have also been an employee of Union County for about 16 years as a correctional police officer, now under the management of the Sheriff's Department since 2021 as a result of shared services. As I stand here, I do not stand as an officer. I represent myself as a taxpayer in this county who will share observations. Union County, though the last county in New Jersey established among 21 counties, has some of the oldest towns founded in the county, in New Jersey, and even in the United States at large. Elizabeth, New Jersey is the very county seat of Union County and was founded in 1664. Holding over 30 historic sites, our current courthouse was built in 1931, and our jail is architecturally designed to be connected to the courthouse, which can hold over 1,000 incarcerated individuals. The incarcerated individuals are escorted through an internal bridge to ensure timely in-person court appearances, per the law. Families, attorneys, and friends of incarcerated individuals were able to visit their loved ones within the jurisdiction of where the alleged crime had been committed. A significant amount of taxpayers' money went into the construction of the jail in the late 80s and early 90s. In 2021, Union County effectuated an agreement that was signed in 2020 of shared services with Essex County. Over 200 correction officers with various ranks were affected by way of unforeseen intergovernmental transfers, and others, including myself, laid off from work. The corrections officers who experienced the consequences of the county-wide layoffs and transfers were also the ones who worked during the global pandemic without hazard pay. The irony of it all, departments that were not fully activated were allowed to work from the convenience of their homes, or may not have been required to work at all due to closing, yet they received hazard pay. The jail business and corrections officers are needed on a 24-hour basis. The jail operating during the global shutdown demonstrated that. The layoffs that took place in 2021 were preceded by layoffs only 20 years before, in April of 2001. Now, on the third anniversary of the 2021 layoffs, another layoff is dated for July 1st, 2024. All three layoffs affecting officers share similarities in the sense that layoffs are announced shortly after promotions and subsequent hiring waves. The two main differences between the 2021 layoff and this upcoming July 1st, 2024 layoff are that only the Division of Corrections within the Sheriff's Department is subjected to layoff, and the fact that the ones who are subjected to layoffs were just called back from a layoff. Where is the economic stability in the lives of these employees? At what point in time did Union County, as the employer, the Board of Commissioners, realize that the numbers weren't adding up, that the math wasn't making sense? Why hire just to lay off? Why uproot the lives of others and jeopardize their livelihood when their job is a necessity? Union County Corrections, as a division of Sheriff's Department, is the only department being laid off, yet other departments are hiring. Elizabeth has 134,283 documented residents per consensus as of 2022. Union County has 565,815 documented residents. Union County has 21 municipalities. Elizabeth represents about 24% of Union County. Essex County has 863,728 documented residents. Essex County Jail has a capacity of 2,400 inmates. During COVID-19, they reached their capacity.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's a 5-minute time limit. Thank you.
Vic Bermudez, Cumberland County Department of Corrections, PBA Local 231. We went through the same thing down in Cumberland County, Gloucester County, Camden County, Mercer County, and there's one common denominator that we see as a registered Democrat. And what we're seeing here is through the Consolidation Joint and Shared Services Act, I used to worry about fighting as a Latino for civil rights, the right to work. We used to fight against that. This is worse. This is the right not to nobody work. This is getting rid of jobs, period. And for the people that don't know, these aren't people with 4 or 5 years. We got people 16 years on up that invested their time, invested their pensions, and invested their lives on the line behind that wall for this county to share services and ship inmates elsewhere where you absolutely do not save any money. And the common denominator with all these counties is you guys are cutting government jobs in half. If you sell them to a private entity, the anticipated revenue is no longer there. The cornerstone of taxpayers are the employees of the county, and you're getting rid of those. You're getting rid of those, this panel. I lived here 30 years ago. I used to jump the path to go to Rutgers. And I'm sorry to say, it looks exactly the same downtown as it did 30 years ago. This is a shame. I can't believe that you won't even entertain the GAP program to make things right, but to have us come up here and keep on hollering at you guys and show the ugliness. For that dog and pony show that you guys had up on the screen, showing with the nice editing and fading, I had to walk here on plywood down the sidewalk. Anybody else? It's terrible. 31 years, you're trying to lay this man off. And it's disgusting the way you guys are doing it, because what you're not telling everybody, and what we're going to say is it's through unlawful practices in the job, and they call it attrition. That is the word they use to push people out, is attrition, with sending things to PERC and messing with their time and giving them write-ups. The same thing they did to us in Cumberland, same thing they did to us in Mercer and Gloucester, was come down on the people that dedicated their lives. And we got our wives and kids here that are on the line. And this is the thanks that we get. No GAP program, no pension out, no nothing, no talks, no contract. Just, you know what? We're not even going to have a contract. We're just going to lay you off. And that is a black eye on all of you, all of you. I mean, it's really disgusting behavior. So you see the PBA is here. We're going to keep coming. And I understand there's going to be a vote at the end of the month. But we're not going anywhere. Thank you.
My name is Jose Velez, former Union County Correction Officer. My starting date was 1989. I did 25 years in corrections. And out of my 25 years, I spent it with him. I spent it with him, these guys. I spent my Christmas. I spent my New Year's, my Thanksgiving, because I couldn't go home to my family. These guys are my family. I know their kids. They know my kids. I've been retired 11 years. 11 years I've been retired, but I'm here today for my brothers and my sisters because their jobs, their family are being threatened, being jeopardized. Not one of you guys has spent time in the jail. 24 hours. We're open 24 hours. And at time when I wanted to go home, when my 8-hour shift was over, I couldn't. But I stayed. This job was a choice for us to better our lives and to better our families. What would you do for your family? What would you do for your kids? I'm asking you, what would you do? We, as officers, have sacrificed so much, and we've asked for so little. Mind you, I did 25 years. Been retired 11 years, and we still suffer for those games guys played, laying us off, rehiring us back again. It's not only us, it's our wives, it's our kids, it's our homes. Realize what you guys are doing. Please, open your eyes, open your hearts. What would you do for your job? If I came to you today and tell you today's your last day, or if you don't do this or you don't do that, you guys are gone. It's a skeleton crew over there. A skeleton crew. When I started, we're over 300 officers. I had 300 brothers and sisters. Italian, black, Hispanic. I was one when I first started, 1 out of 6 Hispanics. And I've seen my family grow and multiply. We've been from the PBA picnics to the functions. We bring our families too. So I know his kids. I know her kids. They know my children. And all this is being threatened. Guys, I ask you in God's holy name to have mercy, to realize what you are doing and what cause and effect you will have on these men and women. I thank you for this opportunity, and I thank you for this time.
Good evening, Commission. Dave Matos, PBA 382, Essex County Department of Corrections. 2 questions. I want to know if this board has done the research on how this affects the community. About a week ago, I ran into a neighborhood store right here in Clark, and they had a family member that was arrested. They had to get their property. They wanted to know information about visiting their family member and getting their property to run their store because the family member had that property on them. So they came to me. They were directed to Clark, to Union County, and this little old lady was getting on a bus to Newark, getting a bus to Union, to Clark. Did you guys do the research how this will affect your community? Moving your people here to a whole nother county? And as far as our officers, there's a GAP program sometimes for selective officers, for not everyone. Then we're not doing a GAP program, but then we're hiring off the streets civilians. Is it because we don't want to hire Dougie as a sheriff's officer? We only want to hire certain selected officers on the sheriff's department? Is there bias, is discrimination? Have you guys done that research? Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm the president from PBA 109, Hudson County Corrections. We got a bulk of your officers back in April of 2021.
Please have your name for the record.
Benny Lisojo. We got a bulk of your correction officers back in April of 2021. And just going to keep it brief. So a lot of those guys came over, and then they were promised the opportunity to come back home where they started at their careers and where they live at and pay taxes. And here we are today in front of you, less than 2 years later from when they went back to Union County, and you're telling them that were good enough to come back and settle their families back in home where they were accustomed to, and now tell them, well, now we could care less what happens to you guys. You guys have a budget to hire 15 sheriff officers. These guys are family. They pay taxes here. Their kids go to school here. I truly believe, and I'm asking them, you all, at the end of the day, they didn't ask, they didn't beg to come back. They were open. The doors were open, like, guys, you want to come back home? And they went back home, right? They had a home in Hudson County Corrections.
We still have 23 Union County correction officers currently hired at our department that came over back in April of 2021. They chose to stay. These guys chose to come back. And I believe that at the end of the day, the final say is going to go through you guys, not the sheriff. And you guys should truly consider and understand that these guys have been faithful to your county and to this department for 15, 16, 17 years. So when you make that decision, think about your families as you think about their families and what you guys would do. Because like I said, the bulk of those laid off officers came over to my department in 2021, and they were offered an opportunity to come back home, and they did, without a doubt. Took a drop in pay to come back home to Union County. Could have stayed where we're at. But now here they are being told that they're once again going to be let go with no promise of employment anywhere. So when you make that decision, all I ask for you guys to think about your families, think about what you guys would do for your family. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Regina Major. I stand here in representation for PBA 199 and as an employee of the Union County Corrections. I stand here today not as me, but as your son, your daughter. And I'm in the position of one of the people that was laid off back in 2021. It devastated me. It caused me a lot of stuff to happen. I got anxiety that now I have to take pills for, because imagine you've been working for 16 years and then you're outside on the street with no other opportunity to do something else. And nobody helped us because they didn't care. Nobody stood up for corrections. Nobody stood up for me. How would you feel if it was your son, if it was your daughter, and nobody stood up for them? But they could, and they didn't. Not only that, I'm in the military. I'm in the Navy, and they always say thank you for your service. But at the same time, y'all not thanking me for my service when y'all put me on the street. The Navy would never. On top of that, 16 years and you're outside. So now I've been working since 13 years old. I come over here. This is my career. When it was COVID, we was essential. How is it that I have to tell my kid, Mommy, why do you gotta go to work? Because I'm essential, and our job is 24/7. I can't be home with my kid on holidays because I'm here serving the Union County Jail. But nobody sees that. When it was COVID, cops, they didn't have to go outside to work. They was not picking up people because of COVID. We was in that jail getting sick, not being able to come to work, and still coming back every day, trying to figure out, Dad, this is sad, and nobody cared. But we still did it and put in our time and put in our sacrifice to make sure we still got to come to work and not bring nothing back home to our families. But nobody cared. Getting anxiety and you being in the military, not only did it affect me as my outside life, but then it had to cross over into my Navy life, because now I got to explain to them, why am I taking pills? Because the Union County did this to me. Because they didn't care enough to say, we're not going to do this to y'all. We're going to gap y'all. We're going to give you the opportunity. And the sad part was a punch in the face, because as soon as we got laid off, the sheriffs hired 30 people. Y'all could have hired us 30 people and called it a day. I'm here today to say, look at us as we was your kids. And how would you feel if your kids was put in this position and nobody did nothing? Nobody said nothing, and everything swept under the table. This is 2024, and something got to give. We can't keep living in the past. Whatever, I don't know why the people don't like corrections, but that's the old times. This is a new day. Something got to give. If y'all got hearts and love yourself, and love us the way y'all would love your kids, I'm here today to ask y'all, give us some grace. We tired. We sacrifice 24/7. We behind those walls. We deal with these inmates 8 hours a day, sometimes 6 hours a day. And that's all I got. Have grace on us. Thank you.
Stan Terrell, President PBA Local 199. Good evening, County Manager and Commissioners of Union County. I'm here this evening to ask that the closing of the third shift across the street in Union County Hub be, and the possible displacement of the 9 officers be reconsidered. The third shift provides a valuable service to the Union County community, allowing municipalities to drop off their prisoners during overnight hours and not have either hold on to their prisoners overnight or carry the burden of transporting them to Essex County and possibly waiting long wait times to drop off the inmates, taking valuable resources from the community, their police officers, off the street to do so. The hub has been running effectively and efficiently with all 3 shifts since July 1st of 2021, with getting police agencies in and out in record times. Eliminating the 3rd shift could possibly have the police agencies transporting their prisoners to Essex County with longer wait times, and which reduce the manpower of the officers off the roads, jeopardizing the safety of the public in those communities. With the summer fastly approaching and crime usually rise during those summer months, having the 3rd shift is a necessity to alleviate the burden and stress that these police departments may encounter on the overnight shift. So the PBA 199 and 199A is asking in this governing body to reconsider closing the 3rd shift. Thank you.